Today is Friday, December 28th, 1990, and I am Dick Rietz, your narrator. This film was mostly put together by Miss Rietz-Juergens from the 20th, 30th, and 40th decades of the 20th century. A large portion of the film covers Dick, Don, and Mimi Rietz at Powers Lake, Wisconsin. You'll notice here in the picture the large stairs descending from the big house to the lake. Miss Rietz-Juergens was treasurer of the Altenheim in Forest Park, Illinois for many, many years, and was also an officer in the Hard of Hearing League of Chicago, Illinois. The large estate at Powers Lake was purchased by her father, Mr. Paul Juergens, our great-grandfather, in the last decade of the 19th century. And during the 20th century, much of it was sold off, leaving only a small portion that was inherited by Donald Rietz, still in the family. You will be introduced to many aunts, uncles, grandparents, etc., to which I refer you to the family tree to see the interrelationships. The Juergens family came to the USA on Danish passports, as the town they lived in, Oldenburg, was at that time Danish, and they objected to the laws and rules and even the language spoken in the schools, since Oldenburg and the family there were of German descent. This is a very small village located near the ferry that takes one from Germany to Copenhagen. The Rietzes came from Eisenberg, Germany, which is near Leipzig. The Juergens established a jewelry business in Chicago that became known as the Juergens and Anderson Jewelry Company. It developed into a factory and sold jewelry all over the United States of America. The Rietzes established a lumber company which brought timber from Michigan to Chicago to rebuild Chicago after the Great Chicago Fire. They also discovered salt in Manistee, Michigan, and developed lumber yards in Chicago, and had ships on Lake Michigan to carry the lumber to Chicago. They gave a park to the city of Manistee that still carries the Rietz name today. Both families became very successful in the later part of the 19th century, and their names can be found among the who's who. The first and second generations were not able to hold the business together because of poor upbringing and management, business, deaths, and the depression of the 1920s and 30s. Some portions of 5 generations have experienced life at Powers Lake, and the 6th generation has just been born. To have 6 or 7 generations in one century seems to me kind of unique, but I guess it is not. There's HP and Paul Rietz, Bernice. Got a little double shot here on top of each other. There's Chuck and Dick down at the bank on Powers Lake. The big trench near the pier. There's Chuck, the Oldenburg stairway. There's Billy Schumann, Grandma. There's Harry Brand and my father. There's HP Juergens, Paul Juergens. There's Dick with his dad, Harry Brand, and Grandpa sleeping on the left. Here's Dick diving on the pier. Here comes Chuck. Must be the 4th of July. We're putting up the flag here. There's Don, Dick, and Chuck. That flag, by the way, does not have 48 stars. I think it has 45. It's a 1941 Pontiac over there, my father's. Yeah, 4th of July, got a big gang up here. There's Don. Don't know all these people. There's Leonard. Taking front of Paul Rietz's house overlooking the lake. There's Leonard, Karen, Mimi. It's Leonard Detmers, not a relative, but a friend of the Paul Rietz family. There's Karen. There's Mimi behind the tree. Big poker game here, I can see that. Well, there's Mimi with the rabbits with Karen. Mimi was always an animal lover. White rabbits out in back of the house. There's the slide. There comes Mimi. Look how clear the bottom of the lake is there. We'll get another shot of it. There's Smokey. Mimi doesn't want to get wet. There's Dick, Donald, and Leonard. There's Mimi. There's Harry Hurst. Here comes Joe and Art Schumann with Bobby. This little Smokey the dog. Joe and Art Schumann and Bobby. I think this is Carlin Lovegren, I believe. There's Bobby Schumann. Looks like Dick. Boy, is he skinny. Paul driving the boat. Oh, watch out for the shore. There's Kay Brand. Francis Cronenberg. We got Maud Detmers. This is Maud Detmers. Here's Harry Hurst. No, this is Harry Brand's automobile. Pulling out a stump here. Big Buick. Come on. New flagpole up on the bank overlooking the lake. Must be another 4th of July. Mimi and her kittens, and there's the dog Flash. Unfortunately, Smokey got one of those kittens. And the replacement was not as good as the original. That windmill on the background was done by Harry Brand. He made that, brought it up, and installed it. You'll see it again at various times. Oh, here's Leonard leading the pack, bringing down the big log for swimming. Here comes Thin Don. Okay, Mimi, lead the way. There's Dick, Chuck, and Thin Don. Oh, Hilma! Here's Hilma. She was a Swedish maid for Bernice. Probably about 75 years old in this picture. And there's HP. In the white, always wore a white shirt and tie. Never saw him at the lake without it. Looks like grandfather in the back there, Charles F. Rietz. There's HP again. Better watch out, Paul, the way these guys shoot arrows. Oh, there's Dick and Smokey. There's Helen and Charles Rietz, my father and mother, and Harry Brand. There's Harry. He was killed in an airplane crash. Back in the 40s. Used to drive a 12-cylinder Lincoln. There's Anna Juergens, the one who did most of this filming, and grandmother and grandfather, May and Charles Rietz, out in front of the big Juergens house. Big oak tree there. Here comes Bernice and Maud Detmers. And that's the Detmers dog. There's my father. There's Paul and Don going golfing. Oh, it looks like Harry, Dick, and Dad are going golfing too. Anna's flowers. She was always proud of those. Did a lot of flowers at the lake. Look at them. There's a flower. There's Paul Rietz and Boots Detmers. There's that windmill I told you about. And there they come with the tomatoes. Don there starting the motor. Oh, not much water in the lake. You can see how low it was. Still clear, that lake. Probably a crab apple tree, although they look like plums. There's Flash, the dog. He's playing a lot of softball in this backyard. It's like Dee Dee Schumann coming up the hill there. Anna's flowers in front of the Juergens house along the path. Marie Matta. Must be Memorial Day now because we're putting in the pier. There's Chuck. It's Smokey. The Detmers dog and Smokey. There's Leonard. Good picture of Leonard. This was the first boat that Paul bought for Don. This is a C-size and it's a graft rig. You had to take your pail though when you went in this boat or you wouldn't make it back. It leaked so badly. And this was really in the very early stages of when they re-established sailing at Powers Lake. And Paul had a lot to do with starting the sailing. It looks like a pretty good landing. There's Mimi with her grandmother and Paul Juergens holding the door. There's Helen and Charles. Here's Dee Dee and Billy Schumann. You can always tell Billy Schumann because of the pipe. It's probably grandmother's birthday here. They all came up usually in late August, and they always had a big party. Paul and Bernice, good shot of them. There they're getting ready for a sailboat race. That's looking directly south across the lake towards the knolls. A lot of shots on that side. This area was not built up with houses, it was just trees. Old ice house was still over there, partially still standing. There's the women watching their sailors. That's it. Leave them struggle, Don. Let them struggle with the boat. Thought you might like a little diversion in here. World War I. There's Rex. That was my father's dog. This is taken at 3158 Pine Grove Avenue, Chicago, Illinois. This was the house that my grandparents, May and Charles Rietz, received as a wedding present. I don't know what dog this is. I'm sure the other one was Rex, though. There's Irma Hollinghue and Anna Juergens. And here's Irma and Anna coming up the entrance to the Juergens home at Powers Lake. Good name for this dog would have been Spots. I don't know if that's his name. Look at those eyes. This is Bernice and Paul Rietz's wedding. Bernice Hurst was her maiden name. This, of course, is at the church. And they lived up on the North Shore, one of the suburbs of Chicago. Those could be the Warwicks. And this is Betty and Harry Hurst, now Betty Johnson. Bernice and Paul, they're getting there, running away. Here's Harry Hurst, Bernice's father. And the wedding was at their home, the reception that is. They're all wishing the bride and groom well. There's my father in the lower right with Helen. There's Boots. Boots was not married yet. There's Betty Johnson. Betty Hurst Johnson. Kissing the bride. There's Grandpa Rietz with the glasses and May, his wife. Harry Hurst. He gave this bride away. There's Boots. I think that's Warwick, the tall man. There's Bernice, the bride. There's Grandpa getting a little refreshment. That is like Harry. I'm thinking Warwick. There's Helen and May Reed. No, it's Anna Juergens. This is at the church. You'll see the candles. The picture's too dark. Okay, here we are, Bernice and Paul. And at this point, I want to give credit to Rick, who I could not have done this with without his help. He's probably the bridesmaids there. Rick's done a great job helping us get this film together. There's Anna Juergens way on the right. May, Harry Hurst, her father. Hiding his drink there. I guess this is Powers Lake in front of the house. So they are driving golf balls into the lake. Not sure who this is. That's Charles, my father. That's Harry Brand. Oh, muffed that one. Harry Brand. Oh, that's Paul Rietz. Here's Harry Hoyer's car. He hit a estate up here at the lake also. I don't know where this is, but they're on vacation. They got some pretty good fish out there. This is not Powers Lake. Looks like they're a little tipsy. This is probably filmed in Wisconsin, upper northern part. If we could read that, we'd have a clue. There's the stairs, the Juergens stairs at Powers Lake. Boy, a German Shepherd. There's Paul and his knickers. Bernice trying to come down the stairs. There's Bernice, there's Helen and Charles. Grandma, and I think the last one is Chet Schiller, friend of the family. Looks like they had a little libation here. Looks like Irma. Oh, here's Dick in the family apartment in Chicago. It was probably his first birthday, probably December 1933. See the Christmas tree. It's not a very good walker yet. Dick was the firstborn of this generation, and there Dick is with his mother. I do not know the street in Chicago, but you could read the address there. There's Anna Juergens with Dick. Good disposition as always. Oh, in the summertime now. Dick always did like to rock. Look at how neat that is, the way they make those hobby horses. So simple. He has to be over a year old now, and he still doesn't seem to walk very well. Maybe that's his Easter outfit. If so, it would be April 1934. There's a church in the background. I remember going to that church when I was older. And if so, this is on Wayne Avenue. Near Devon in Chicago. There's Mimi at Powers Lake on the stairs. There's Chuck on the swing and Dick's down on the dirt writing something. Well, it's 1940. This thing is in. The film is backwards. Nothing I can do about it. Apple picking Dick. There comes Mimi with Pa. This is Park Ridge, Illinois, the first home my father owned, 711 South Crescent Avenue. Here comes Chuck. This has to be also about December 1940. Or it could be December 41. Because the lawn has been established by this time. And I know it was planted from seed. There's Dick. There's Charles and Help. And this is here is the close one here is Dick. And the further one is Chuck. There's Chuck. Jumping in the dad. Look at those swimming suits in those days the men wore. Here is Harry Hurst. Bernice, May, Juergens Rietz, Paul. That's probably Mr. Schumann. And Charles, and I think that's Chillo, Anna Juergens. There's Helen pushing. Charles and Chuck. There's Don. There's Dick. Dick on a tricycle. Another dog, Don's. I don't know where Don got that dark hair. How he became a blonde later on. It's Chuck with his grandfather. Dick doesn't want to get his hair wet. I guess neither does Don. Of course, this is at Powers Lake, looking south, as most of the pictures are. Dick, Don, and Paul. There's Flash, or one of their dogs. That's Anna, I can tell by her walk. Looks like Dick and Don. Don seems to be winning. Looks like Don and Grandpa. This could be Martha Gronenberg with Mimi and Don. There's Mimi looking down towards the ravine. There's Don. Chuck and Dick. In their white sailor suits. Boy, they're going to need a little washing tonight. Somebody's bashful there in the hammock. There's Smokey. Kind of a cute little dog. Just like having a park in your backyard. Swing set, slide, and sandbox. And there's a teeter-totter too there, as I remember it. There's a wagon in the background. Yeah, there's a sandbox. There's Dick. There's Chuck. There's Chuck with Smokey. Sailor suit. Yeah, Mimi likes dogs. All animals. Dick's pushing one of them. That has to be Grandfather Rietz. There's Harry Brand, K. Brand, Grandfather Rietz. When I say that, I'm referring to my grandfather. There's Billy Schumann, because he's got a pipe in his mouth. There's Harry Hearst, Charles Rietz greeting you. HP or Paul Juergens. You must be gathering on grandmother's birthday. As I said previously, we always had a big party for her in August, and everybody came. It wouldn't be unusual to have 12, 14, 15 people. There's Helga and Tommy, and there's Fawn, our dog. This is a set of pictures that I took. There's Wendy. Wendy to Aunt Gladys, 1968. Tommy and Wendy. There's the Moore boy. I think it's There's Tom. There's Dad. All up at Powers Lake. There's Mrs. Stransky. Nora and Charles. My mother died and my father remarried. There's Wendy coming down to the water. The new flagpole that we have there. There's Dad with Wendy. Here's Helga doing some filming. Doesn't do a bad job. Very clear shots. Oh, there's David and Alan with Fawn. She was always good with kids. Oops. Didn't like that, did you, Wendy? Oh, Bobby and Cheryl Stransky in their speedboat. And there's Barbara and Don Rietz. Oh, there's Ralph and Eric and Grandma Nickel, Anita and Erica. And there's Helmut. There's Anita and Paul, Ralph rather. And there's Erica. This is golf at the Powers Lake Country Club. Some of these women can really take a whack at it. They wear so many hats though, I'm unable to tell who we're watching. So it has to be back in the late 20s. They had electricity. You can see the telephone poles carrying the wires. Somehow the course does not look as well kept as I had understood that this course was kept. somehow, this looks like Anna Juergens. But somehow these films, as Rick points out, must be backwards, because everybody can't be left-handed. That looks like Irma and Anna, definitely. Irma Hollinghue and Anna Juergens. And I know Grandma, Grandpa, and Anna all golf. In fact, Don and I used to have their clubs. They cut them off short as kids because they were wooden shafts. They're the old automobiles, at least we call them old today. And that looks like my father, Charles Rietz. Whew! What a hit. And there's Pa. Unfortunately, this was shot before talking movies. Now this looks like my grandmother, Grandma Juergens. I can't be sure. Look at that grip. Because of her bad arm, that's probably why she didn't take a full swing. Sure looks like a cow pasture. Can you beat these putts? Whoa! 2, 3, and 4. Pretty good. A good approach shot to the green, or within the green. Yeah, not bad. The reason for the jumping is I think the film is broken in places, and that's why it bounces like it does from time to time. But it'd be a major job to go through all these frame by frame to find the break and repair them all. You'd never get this tape. That green sure looks kind of rough. I mean, the tee rather. This is probably one of the oldest of the films, so it's no wonder it's in a little bad shape. The women didn't wear the hats, but you could have some idea who they were. I imagine Bernice and Helen are out here shooting golf as well. Again, this could be Grandmother Rietz with her caddy. Villa Oldenburg, that's what the Juergens called their estate at Powers Lake. And this is the entrance drive with the pillars and the iron gate. And that's Anna Juergens and May, their sisters. And there's the house. Circular drive. And that's grandfather, Charles F. There's Pa. Grandma and Grandpa. This ought to bring memories to Don. In fact, they still are probably memories or nightmares. Sure got a lot of help putting in this water line. Tough work, pick and shovel. All the roots they must have run into digging this through the ravine. Doesn't look like a very easy task to me. This must have been where Anna got water for a fountain, but look at it, continues on to the west. That was the old house, Paul's house. Look how close the cabin is. Something has been moved. Don, you better get that cabin fixed up like that. Looks like a bunch of gangster cars from the 20s. This is Schultz's house. There's Helen, Charles, Bernice, and Paul coming up the drive in their 20s gear. Here we are back on the golf course. Looks like they're teeing up in front of a sand trap. Unless they had sand tees. There's the entrance, Powers Lake Country Club. And there's the clubhouse. And the clubhouse was moved further west after the course closed. And this course, by the way, was originally established by the Bunties, who owned the Bunny Candy Company in Chicago. It went out of business, I would guess, somewhere around 1950s. That's the way you used to wash your balls. Sandbox. Boy, what a bunker that is. Boy, how would you like to play behind this group? It must be a 12-some. You can see golf in those days must have taken all day. Nobody sinks putts in this 12-some. Ah, there goes one. Yeah, that's a tee. That's a sand tee. There's Paul. What a swing. There's Charles Rietz. Kind of dubbed that one, I think. It was like Helen. There's Charles. There's Charles. There's Knickers. Both Charles and Paul were club champs, and in fact when the course closed, it was my father who ended up as the champion. I remember he had the #1 belt buckle. The Altenheim in Forest Park, Illinois. Since I have this tape that Anna took, I thought you might enjoy seeing it. You're going to see a funeral procession in this movie, and I believe the woman who's being buried was the mother of one of the silent movie stars back in the 20s. And this is how the Altenheim looked in, let's just estimate, somewhere around 1928. Anna was treasurer of the Altenheim for many, many, many years, and was also an officer of the Hard of Hearing League. I would think that this man was here a long time, and that the people at the Altenheim could determine who that maintenance man was. Because I know that Anna spoke about him quite often for many, many years. In these days, it didn't look like a very exciting place to be. These are probably directors. They're bringing the casket now to the horse-drawn hearse, and will shortly make the short drive to the cemetery. And you'll notice the nurses going along with some of the older kind of like the way they do it for a president on Pennsylvania Avenue, isn't it? Nearly all the men and women wear hats. Anna Eisen. Anna. I think that's Irma Hollinger, a friend of Anna's. That's Anna Juergens. Now for you people at the Altenheim, this is one of your early picnics. This part here is taken a little bit fast. It will slow up a little later on. It'll be hard to recognize faces. But it'll give you some idea of what the picnics of old used to be like. Everybody dressed up in their finery to come to this picnic. This must be one of the rooms and porches within the building. Has windows on 3 sides. This must be a typical bedroom of the approximately 1930. It's like corn there in the background. You may wonder who I am. I'm Dick Rietz, and Anna Juergens was my great aunt. And I do on occasion attend your picnics. There's quilts for sale, not unlike today. A bunch of the Kinder. Must have been some games for the children. That looks like I found this film in the box, and because of the Yosemite portion at the end of it, and because of its historical nature, I thought it might be of interest. This is Taos Indian Reservation. Shows what it looked like back in probably the late 1920s. If any of you ever go there, you'll have some comparison. The Indian Pueblo of Taos, taken from the second flat view, from here going down the ladder to the ground. Ovens, a fire built inside. These over, it's hot, the bread is put, and the opening closed. Have a little bit of snow there. They sure wouldn't let you climb these ladders today. They'd be afraid of lawsuits. The old wagons. There's the ovens for making the bread. The laundry. This is not our mistake. Whoever went to all the work to splice this, spliced it upside down. Look at the wooden wheels on that cart. Those must be occupied today, at this time. Some of them anyway. Because we saw the laundry out. There's some Indian children carrying a basket on her head. The animals.